Hey everybody, it's Mark here at the theboxsf. Although I am at home today, I am spending the entire weekend and the better part of the next month elevating in bed, working part-time, and then doing my best to heal my foot. Anyway, I woke up this morning with to an email actually from somebody who was talking about asking for help, if I could help them figure out their little new business that they were trying to start, and um, kind of ways to approach some things, and wanted to come to our next event. And I was telling them about it. And I started thinking, I've created a number of divisions of my company and various companies over the years because I don't like the word entrepreneur. I think it's kind of a bullshit word, to be honest with you. I think entrepreneurs are just people who are really good at something and are passionate about doing it every day. And but I don't think you should aspire to be an entrepreneur. But what I do think people struggle with so often is what I talked about this morning with this person. How do you create a business? How do you get started? And I think that we are littered a lot of times with self-doubt and what is it going to take to do this? And am I smart enough to do it? Do I have the money? Do I have the resources? How am I going to approach it? I mean, there's just a litany of questions that plague anybody who tries to start something new. And, I've gone through all those same things. And, part of the reason that I am offering these vendor tables at my events for $50, $30 more than the ticket, but the ticket's 20, is to let people try, put your toe in the water, reach a new audience, meet new people, get out and network, and let people know who you are. I've always thought that the hardest thing about starting a new business is just getting the word out, and because especially if you're a new business, you're not going to be able to afford a lot of advertising on Google or elsewhere. Facebook ads are useless. Instagram is pretty useless. So it's really about building relationships and letting people know who you are, and then building that sort of know, like, and trust that I talk about all the time. But what I do want to say is the art of active networking, when I created it, it was about helping people to do better, and it still is. And like anybody who's starting a new thing, I'm just back to doing this after stopping my events in 2019 and just kind of now getting back to them. And, I was doing them in 17 cities, and now they're just here. And I'm struggling even getting people to come to the events, And I think it's because we're so inundated with stuff to do, struggles, how to get things going, work, and I don't think anybody, what do they say? No one ever dies and says, I wish I'd worked more. Um, and I get that. I certainly understand that really well because, unplugging, well, being forced to unplug this last 3 weeks since the surgery, I'm spending a lot of time thinking about how do I re-engineer some of the things in my companies? How do I rethink aspects of my life? I haven't been able to really walk for 2 years, so I haven't really been able to travel the way that I used to, and work on projects the way that I used to, and I'm not as efficient or as I don't know. I don't like to say hardworking because I think I work pretty hard, but it's just difficult when you have something that impacts you like this has for me. And I know that so many people have those things going on. I mean, I know people with life-threatening illness. I know people who've lost everything in the hurricanes recently. I know people who've lost everything in their fires. And this idea that sort of having to tear your life down to the very basics and start over is something that people struggle with. And then when you add the idea that they want to start a new business on top of that, or they want to start a new thing, or they want to quit their job and find a new job, I mean, all of that's very daunting for people. So at my events, it's about, building community and working together to help you find what you need and want. And that could be expertise, that could be money, that could be a new job, that could be friends if you've just moved to the Bay Area or to whatever city that we do these in. So I really want people to sort of realize that, and realize that building something is hard. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of passion. and you have to stay really focused on it. And it's not really, sometimes I think about even that straight line of from here to there to get to success. I think it's very much about the wonder, you know. I call it the left turns of life, you know. You might have a plan to get over there, and you might get derailed and end up over there. And sometimes those happy accidents and those derailments can lead you to new learnings and to new awarenesses about yourself and about your business. And I think that anytime that you can do that, you have a much better opportunity for success. As far as my events are concerned, I do invite you to come. I promise that I'll introduce you to the people in the room. I promise that no matter how many people come, it really doesn't matter whether we have 100 or whether we have 25. They're effective events. It's a great way to meet people, but it also is more hard work because it's on you to introduce yourself, to let people know who you are, to let them know what you're struggling with, and that's difficult to talk about in a public setting. And then to follow up, which is the biggest mistake most people do when they go to any event, is they don't follow up with people. They grab their business cards, they put a rubber band around them, they toss them in their pocket, and they don't bother to follow up with people. They don't have the time. They get back to work. They're busy. They're building their business. They're working on their new project at work, whatever it is. And, you know, I just wonder so often why people bother to even come, because it's not like they just needed something to do, I don't think. I think we all have plenty to do. So I think you really have to think about what it is you want and then how to go about it and to come up with a plan to do that. And, you know, I'm willing to help anybody anytime. I know that it's often a struggle. It's often exhausting. And, you know, if you just kind of, I mean, I think you got to wake up in the morning and love what you do. And then all of that gets a little bit easier because it's not work if you love what you do. Doesn't mean you're not working hard. It just means that you're working towards something that you love. And I think that that's also very important. So these thoughts hit me this morning and after this conversation, and I thought I would just share this out with everybody. If I can ever be of help, please call me, 415-602-9500. If you ever want to come to our events, theartofactivenetworking.com is where you get your tickets. Theboxsf.com is my venue where we do these things, at least in San Francisco. And I'd be happy, as I said, to help anybody and use my network, my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my meetup groups, my mailing list, my database, to think about what you need and how I might be able to help you find it. So, and I hope that you'll do that for other people as well. I call it my Give 4. Give 4 hours a week to helping other people to do better in 4 specific ways. And if you want to learn about that, we talk about it at the events. In the meantime, don't hurt yourselves. Don't break anything. If you are compromised in your health in some way, do your best to take care of that and do your best to unplug, listen to music, and do whatever it is that you can do to inspire yourself and to keep yourself positive every single day. All right? Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.